Bem-vindas e bem-vindos a um segundo dia da UE Local Campinas. Por favor, silenciem todos os celulares e concentrem sua atenção no palco. E agora, deem as boas-vindas à presidente da SWE para o ano fiscal de 2027, Kerry Greenfelder.
Well, hello and bom dia. Welcome to day 2 of We Local Campinas. Oh, I think we have a little more energy than that. Welcome back to day 2 of We Local Campinas. There we go. For those of you who are joining us through our conference live stream, I just want to thank you for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy our discussion this morning. It is such a joy to be with you all here in Campinas. If you weren't here yesterday, I mentioned this is my first time in Brazil. This is really my first time anywhere on this continent. So you all have been so warm and welcoming, and the energy that we feel, I just love it. And so the energy, I think, is carried over into this conference. Are we having a good time? Okay. Well, it has been absolutely incredible. Well, this morning, I have the pleasure of welcoming an inspiring panel of leaders. They are in engineering and technology, and these individuals have really embraced their unique journeys and are absolutely shaping our future. But before we get started, I want to take a moment and thank all of our volunteers that are with us today. Yes. I know you all don't get to see it, but behind the scenes is a dedicated group of leaders who generously give their time, their energy, and so much passion as volunteers. And at the heart of all of it is this year's We Local Host Council. So please join me in welcoming them on stage where we'll recognize them. We have Caroline Agostini, Leticia Avelin, Anne-Marie Caballero, Deborah Davizano, Carolina Franzo, and Tasha Tavares. Let's give this incredible group of leaders a big round of applause. We thank you all just so much. Your unwavering commitment, your belief in the power of connection, and your vision for what SWE can be here in Brazil. You all have made this possible. So in addition to this group of leaders, I also want to take a moment and thank all of our outstanding partners whose generous support helps us make We Local Campinas possible. The organizations, that's right, let's give them a round of applause. Go ahead. These organizations that you see here on the screen, they believe in SWE's mission, not just in words, but also in action. They are helping build our future, one where women can thrive as engineers, inventors, leaders, and the team at PetroPlus has graciously supported this year's conference as our platinum partner. Please enjoy this short video. Ladies, thank you.
Há mais do que produtos por trás de uma grande indústria química. Há pesquisa, desenvolvimento, tecnologia e um compromisso contínuo com a qualidade. Somos referência no desenvolvimento, na produção e na distribuição de soluções de alta performance, levando inovação a diferentes mercados e aplicações. Nosso portfólio reúne marcas reconhecidas e de referência, como PetroPlus, STP e Celsius. Nossa atuação vai muito além do setor automotivo. Também estamos presentes nos segmentos agrícola e calçadista, oferecendo produtos desenvolvidos para atender às exigências específicas de cada mercado, sempre com foco em eficiência e qualidade. Contamos com uma ampla rede de distribuição e unidade fabril própria, garantindo agilidade no atendimento, controle de qualidade e capacidade produtiva para atender diferentes demandas. Nossos processos são certificados por normas ISO e Inmetro, seguindo padrões técnicos rigorosos e auditáveis em toda a operação. Nossa expertise também é reconhecida pelo mercado automotivo, com produtos homologados por mais de 15 montadoras, refletindo nosso compromisso com desenvolvimento tecnológico e conformidade. Com presença consolidada no Brasil e em diversos países da América Latina, levamos soluções químicas para diferentes segmentos, canais e parceiros comerciais. Mais do que fabricar produtos, desenvolvemos soluções que impulsionam negócios, fortalecem parcerias e acompanham a evolução da indústria. Tecnologia, inovação e confiança fazem parte da nossa essência. Acompanhe nossas novidades, lançamentos e conteúdos exclusivos nas redes sociais. Siga a PetroPlus no Instagram e fique por dentro de tudo o que movimenta a nossa indústria.
Thank you again to PetroPlus. Oops, sorry about that. And all of our We Local partners. We really do appreciate your support. So this morning, you're going to hear from leaders who have built remarkable careers in engineering and technology. And while every career journey is a little different, one thing many successful professionals have in common is a commitment to continuous learning, meaningful connections, and giving back to others. These same opportunities exist within SWE through mentoring, professional development, volunteer leadership, and local community engagement. SWE is your partner through every stage of your career. Your We Local registration includes SWE membership. So we hope this conference is just the beginning of your journey within the SWE community. Okay, we're going to shift gears. I have a few more points before we get started. I want to remind everyone to submit your questions for our panelists by going to this session in the app, scrolling to the very bottom of the screen, and you can add your question where it says Q&A. For my sake, I'm going to ask that everyone submit their questions in English, please, for this session. Okay, our panelists will begin with some brief introductions. We'll have a conversation, and then we'll take some questions from the audience in the second half. So without further ado, are we ready to begin the program? All right. So as I call your name, please join me on stage. Fernanda DePauli is our Human Resources Director, LATAM at Motorola Solutions. Welcome, Fernanda. Marina Marino Silva Cardosa, IT Executive at Johnson & Johnson.
Thank you.
Welcome, Marina.
Thank you.
And our final panelist is Ingrid Barroso, North American Manufacturing Strategy and Planning Senior Manager with Whirlpool. Welcome, Ingrid. All right, we're going to begin with really just some brief introductions. And so I'll do a quick one, and then we'll hear from all of our panelists here. So those that haven't met me, I'm Carrie Greenfelder. I'm our Society President for FY27. I'm a chemical engineer working in the water and wastewater sector for Burns & McDonnell in Kansas City, Missouri, back in the United States. I'm an avid SWE member. I'm a mom. I'm a wife to a wonderful husband who is also an engineer. And when I find time, I like to do long-distance running. So excited to be with you all here today, and we'll kind of go down the panel.
Say it's an honor to be with you guys here today. My name is Ingrid Barroso. I'm an electrical engineer currently working on manufacturing engineer within Whirlpool Corporation. I'm working with Whirlpool over almost 16 years this year, so it's been quite a long time, I would say. I have 2 kids. I'm a toddler. Katarina, she's 4, running all around.
Oh.
And I just got back from my maternity leave, and I have an 8-month-old son, Antonio. So my cell phone is there. If it rings, please pick up.
Good morning, everyone. It's an honor also to be here. I'm Marina from Johnson & Johnson. I have more than 20 years working on IT. I have graduated in computer science, and now I'm an IT executive in Johnson & Johnson. I'm also a mom of 2 kids, 6 and 8 years old, so not a recent mom anymore. And and I love to travel. I think that's my favorite thing to do.
Is it okay? Now it's working. Okay, good morning. Thank you very much for the invitation. My name is Fernanda, and I'm not an engineer. I'm a psychologist. So I work in HR. Today I lead the HR for Latam, for Motorola Solutions. And although I'm not an engineer, I've been working in engineering companies all my life. So I pretty much enjoy it, engineering and technology. I'm a mom of a teenager, 13 years old, Alice. Besides that, I love swimming, so whenever I'm not working, I'm swimming.
Love it. Well, let's give our panelists a round of applause before we get started. All right, we're going to jump right in today. So we're going to talk a little bit about your backgrounds and maybe how those experiences don't match the traditional expectations in your field. And I'm going to ask Fernanda to kind of start us off here.
Nice. So it's a nice story to tell, because my dad is an engineer. My brother is an engineer. I'm the youngest one in the family. And when I said that I would like to study psychology, they were all like, what? Why? They were expecting me to go to the engineering career. And I said, no, I want to see how human behavior works. So I like to say that I'm a kind of brain engineer, And as long as I started working, I could see that the behavioral world inside the companies was really complex. And that everything that I saw in the university and everything that I was studying concerning behavior was pretty powerful for the companies. So I went for engineering companies, and I said, okay, now it's the time that I can put all my knowledge to work in favor of people and in order to build nice environments for people to be. So I started working more than 20 years ago in the companies, and I could see that as long as the years pass by, things are changing a lot. And I think that this kind of initiative, this kind of community is so powerful to make us change. And that's why I really believe that regardless of the area, regardless of what we study, as long as we stay together, we are going to be impacting the world pretty in a good way.
Oh, that's fantastic. Ingrid, I have the same question for you. How have you navigated that maybe your experience didn't match up with the expectations?
Within the engineering background, during my intern, I got a role in procurement. For an engineer, maybe not that common when you think about going to projects, maybe in the field and something like that. But procurement taught me a good thing. I think communications engineers are usually not really good communicators. And when you have to deal with people, that usually really helps us guarantee the two-way communication, I would say. But really, being kind of shy person, an engineer, most of them we think they are introvert. not true for everyone anyway, but for me, a shy person, when I had to kind of get on the phone, sit on the table with him, doing some negotiations that really kind of take away, I think, a block or afraid of that I had to talk to people all the time. So that was really good, take me out of my comfort zone. And when I got to Whirlpool, not just kind of having that shock on working on procurement, they got me on finance. So I was really, really afraid of that. My dad was an accountant, and I have had all my vacations during my childhood not able to travel during ending of the months because of month closings, quarterly closings, yearly closings. So I was really, really shocked when they told me that I would go to work on process and finance, FP&A, if any of you guys know. But it really taught me that we could see the company in numbers. And just like Fernando was saying, I think part of what we have to do when our background doesn't really help us to understand everything is stay curious. So I always was eager to learn things. I'm always curious about everything on my life. So that really helped me go through this. And from procurement to finance, then that's when I got to manufacturing or really engineering. So even though working on the other areas, I have always been curious to understand what was going on manufacturing, on the plants and on the operations. So I always had a connection with these teams all along on the projects, being curious on the product development and everything else. So I think the different areas that I went through, when I got to manufacturing, make me more capable of probably understanding side effects of every action that everyone else was doing and really reading within different ways how we were kind of conducting those processes inside. So
what a great story. And this year's theme for SWE is Embrace Your Story. And so I love that you've already shared part of yours. Well, I want to kind of talk a little bit now about how do you tell your story. And so I'm going to start with Marina. What advice would you give to someone who is maybe still figuring out what their story is, or maybe they think their story isn't, and I'll put this in quotes, worth telling?
Yeah, I would say that every story is worth telling. So share your story. Don't be shy to share your story. Each of us has our own story. Ingrid shared a little bit of hers. And the main point here is that your story shouldn't have to be perfect. It should be real. So when I share my story, it means a little bit of delivering results, meetings, managing teams, but also balancing between my home, my kids, studying, because IT, we have to study all the time. So it's real. And when I share my story, I feel that I can inspire everyone around me, because I really believe that each of us has a light inside of us. So we can really inspire, we can illuminate others' life. And also when we share your story, you open an environment for others to share their stories. So it creates a safety environment, a really good environment to work.
Oh, I love that. Bring out the light.
Yeah.
So, Fernanda, same question. What advice would you give to someone who's maybe figuring out their story?
Well, our story is what tells us who we are. So one of the things that I like, and I'm going to bring a little bit of my background as an HR. So I do a lot of interviews. I still do a lot of interviews, mainly when we are trying to bring new talents to the company. And one of the things that I like is to listen to people's story, because I know the graduation, I know the experiences, because the CV has all this kind of information. But what tells me who the person is actually their story. And one of the things that I like to say is that try to be as true as possible when you tell your story. Embrace your story, your mistakes, the challenges that you overcame, because this is what really matters in the end. Nobody is perfect. Nobody is ready. We are always learning. So whenever you tell your story, you're telling who you are. And that is the best way for us to get to know people and also to connect really with people.
Well, that's great. Share the light, and it's okay to have some imperfections. Well, Ingrid, I want you to answer the question too. What advice would you give to someone who's figuring their story out?
I think our life is like a never-ending book. So every day we meet people, different people. Within 5 minutes of talk, they can teach you a lesson. And when you're less expecting, that's when we usually get those big lessons. So for everyone, when you think about, you don't have to have a perfect career, you don't need to be on a certain role, you don't have to have a perfect paycheck or house or things like that to start talking your story. I think the only thing that we have to have in mind is when I talk about my life to someone, this may enlighten, just like the lady said, give someone a spark to start something new, or even get them to reflect on where they are, if they are willing to chase something else, if they're curious to learn something else. And even sometimes we talk to people just to kind of share even a bad moment, we're kind of learning something on them. So, and that may make you feel better on the way that you are at that moment anyway. So when you're telling your story on a way that you can inspire people to get closer to you, I heard from yesterday, I was watching some of the streams on YouTube later, and I heard someone telling that from a teacher in college, she decided to do engineering. And I have seen this case many times. I was one person that decided to do engineering, just like Fernanda was saying, out of her comfort zone in the house. My dad being an accountant, I'm the first engineer in the family, because someone else talked about that so passionate that made me curious to go to learn and think about engineering on my life. So your story is worth telling independent of the moment that you are. Your book is endless. You can fill pages every single day. So keep telling your story to other people, and then you may get a better answer and write a different paragraph in your book.
Oh, you three are so inspiring. Great answers there. Well, let's shift gears a little bit, and let's talk about creating environments. And so a lot of women, especially those maybe from underrepresented backgrounds, need a safe and supported environment. So how do you sort of create those environments so these women can share their stories? Let's start with maybe Marina.
Yeah. So I believe that a safe environment, first of all, comes from leadership. So today as a leader, I really appreciate having a safe environment for the team. And it starts, in my opinion, first of all, with the active listening. So what we said here regarding the story, but the openness to listen, to understand what people are feeling, what are their moments, because of course we have good days and bad days. So besides that, I really believe about another important thing is that empowering people all the time. And there's a good question that I like to use all the time when I talk to people is that, how can I help you today? So that really creates a safe environment for people to share their feelings, to understand. And then we create here a collaborative, a supportive scenario for next steps. That's inclusion somehow. So it doesn't matter if you are coming from a different situation. I really believe that the great teams are built from different people with different backgrounds. And each background, as I said, inspire each other, collaborates a lot, and then we really grow together as a team.
Oh, that's great. And I think, when we talk about safety and support, just simply asking, what can I do to help, is sometimes all it takes. So, Fernanda, same question to you. How do you create an environment that feels safe and supported?
So I guess this is one of the things that I most like about HR. So I'm in a position today that I can really influence the company. So by creating policies, by training leadership, by really setting the tone of the organization, and this is something amazing, And as I said, in the beginning of my career, I had a completely different setup in the companies, and for a lot of times, I was the only woman inside a room, and the jokes were very men-oriented, And I have to say that a lot of the change that I saw in the environments where I was came from me. So the way that I was positioning myself in the meetings, and also how I was giving feedback to people about what was happening in the meeting rooms. Later, I guess, one of the things that I could do, and this is something that I still try to do in any company that I work for, is to really create policies, a culture, an environment that people can be who they are. And really showing the companies how diversity can be even strategic for the companies. And teaching people and sharing stories and bringing people close to make them sure that it's okay to be who they are. Oh. But everything begins with how we position ourselves in front of others.
Love this, and I think there's a challenge for everybody in the room is to just ask, how can I help you? And be that role model and provide a little feedback. Yes. Well, that's great. Well, Ingrid, I'm going to come back to you. You talked about life being a never-ending book. I love that metaphor there. Maybe give us an example. Did you have any moments where maybe it was the end of something and maybe the beginning of something more authentic? Maybe what's your next chapter?
I think I have had like 2 moments in my career or my personal life, I would say, that impacted my career, that kind of closed and opened different books for me. I think about 10 years ago, almost 10 years, I lost my mom, and I was in the middle of a very challenging chapter in my career. And when she passed away, I think I sat down and I thought I lost everything. I just wanted to quit. I didn't want to go back to work. I wanted to focus on my family because I thought I'm away from home because my family is from Minas Gerais, who is from here, from Brazil, knows where it is kind of far from here. So we have been distant from so long that I was saying I miss it a lot and I should be closer then. But then, just before she passed away, I got a chance to do something that was unique, and she knew she was really glad that I had a chance to do that, and she was really happy for me. Yeah. And after that, I found at work a good way to restart. So focusing on my job and getting things done, I think that was one of the best time when I kind of grow as a leader and start to do things differently. And then motherhood. So I was kind of late mom. Don't want to tell my age here, but
as was I.
But anyway, so motherhood was another thing. So when you get to that point, thinking about getting back to work, should I get back to work or should I focus on my kids now? So as I said, I just got back from maternity leave again, and I think motherhood tells us and shows us that we have to change a little bit our standards and how you shift your attention to your kids later on. But I still love working. How can I manage all this all together? So from that moment on, I think efficiency, time management, and process development are something that just came to my household. And I never thought about thinking on this, like how I'll be architecting schedules, timings, and food in between everything. So really, I think those 2 key moments, I thought they were going to really take me down and probably a step back and just kind of making a lemonade. I think I put everything that I had achieved so far on top of it and keep moving and try to make this a best for me to keep understanding how I could improve and make it better and more efficient on my life and to my career. So,
oh well, thank you for sharing that. I'll even add one more as a working parent. It's setting boundaries of what you will do and what you're not going to do, and that's hard.
And I think that this moment, just completing there, is like in the beginning we think we can have separate lives. But in the end, it's like, no, we have to set boundaries, but there is like no really way to separate the Ingrid mom from the Ingrid Whirlpool worker for now employee. So
yeah, well, thank you for sharing that story, and sorry, of course, for your loss. Well, I have one more question, so I just want to remind everybody to use our app today to get some of your questions. We'll pivot to those in a minute. But my last question here is for Marina. What part of your story are you still writing? And how are you embracing maybe the uncertainty that comes with it, or positive? How's the possibility? So,
Well, I'm still writing part of my story where I I look at myself and I think, how can I transform myself while I help transforming the others around me? Doesn't matter who they are in the company. Since people look at me and then I would like to talk, I'm here. I'm open to talk because I think about the power of leadership is transforming, and as women, we do it very well because we care about people. We can balance well things. As Ingrid mentioned, sometimes, oh my God, kids are waiting at home, but I have some work to do. But we can balance. We can balance perfectly. Everything goes fine in the end. So I really love to think about my story as continuously transforming people's life, inspiring women to, as they see us in a leadership position, okay, you have the potential to be here or to be further than here. So I really would like to continue to write in their story. And what's the second part? Sorry.
Just what are your possibilities? And
the uncertainty.
What are maybe some of the uncertainties that you have with this new chapter?
Yeah, and it's great because we don't know about the future. So we have to deal with uncertainty as a common thing. We have to embrace the vulnerability. Oh my God, vulnerability, and go for that. I really try to hear my intuition when I have a different or a hard thing to decide, a tough decision, and more than that, never forget about my dreams. So that's it. Go for it. If it's hard, go for it. You can do it. That's it.
Oh, that's fantastic. And I like to say, if it was easy, everyone would do it.
Exactly.
So, okay, we're going to move to some audience questions. Go ahead, Ingrid.
Yeah, just talking, as Marina was saying, is think about you ladies here. Usually women is like the last portion of the people in college or even engineering. When you think about here in Brazil, it's about like 20% of the population may have a college degree, and like 1/3 is just women. You guys being here today, you guys have achieved a lot. So when you leave here, you're always better than how you guys got in. So just, Marina was saying is, keep moving, embrace the challenges, don't be afraid.
Oh, that's great. Well, I want to start off with a positive question from our audience here. And this is for all three of you. What energizes you in the work that you're doing? So we'll start at the end.
Okay, so I love to help people to get their potential. So this is something that whenever I have a chance to see people growing, I just love it. So internship, apprentice, and when I see people launching their careers and being happy with that, when I see the eyes brightening, that is something that I love.
From my point of view, it's interesting because although I'm from IT, and I could say that delivering IT solutions would also be a part of thing that energizes me, but more than that, today I really believe that seeing people finding their own place, going for their dreams, it energizes me. When, for example, when we need to give a hard feedback, but when you see that the person on the other side understands the way that you are saying, how it's important for her or his development, and then go for it. It's amazing. It's so grateful to see that each of us has a big potential inside of each of us. So it's amazing to see how people is being transformed together with all this crazy environment where IT is moving so fast.
Love it. Go ahead, Ingrid. What energizes you?
I think challenges, so new things every time someone else comes asking for help because they have a challenge. I think that also kind of gets me on the inside. And helping people, just like we're saying, when you see new people coming in, onboarding the new team, getting new people in, making them feel comfortable, I think that also kind of energizes me, like new blood coming in.
It's a bit contagious.
Yeah.
And for me, I work in the water and wastewater treatment sector, and so bringing, drinking water that's reliable to a community is just so rewarding. But it's not just me; it takes a whole team. But it does bring that level of energy that you have.
Make sure that we are delivering what we're supposed to deliver, right?
That's what I try to do every day. So, and yes, Carol will say it is not easy. So I want to see a show of hands here. Who would consider themselves a perfectionist? It's okay. Don't be shy. Oh, there should be more hands up than this. We know how it goes. How do you fight the urge that perfection is something we all have to deal with? So how do you fight that urge of that perfection is the only result, maybe at home or work? So we'll start in the middle.
Well, I think it's natural to sometimes we try to have to be perfect in what we do. But as I said previously, we should embrace the vulnerability. Because when I love Brené Brown, so maybe I'll mention something here that she says, we have to step in the arena. And when we are in the middle of the arena, we don't need to be afraid of the judgments, especially for those who are in the cheap seats outside of the arena, because you are there. You are brave. You have the courage to step forward, to do what you do, and you have the potential to do that. And it doesn't have to be perfect. So first of all, we have to understand that there's no one perfect. Embrace our imperfection, but don't step back. You don't have to step back. Go do it yourself, and don't be afraid of judgments. Instead of that, try to bring people near you who will give you constructive feedback, who will help you to grow. So the next time when you go to the arena, you do it better and better, and that's the way life is.
And I like to say that feedback is a gift.
Exactly.
If you receive it, listen to that feedback. Maybe one more. Marina, what do you have? Any advice related to, I'm sorry, not Marina, Fernanda, any advice you have for perfectionists?
So it's very nice to say that we need to be okay when we do something that is not quite good, but I do get frustrated because I want to give my best always, and sometimes it's just impossible. So what I like to do is to swim. So this is something I love to do, I say that swimming is my therapy. Is when actually, I just listen to the water and I think about things that I've done. And then sometimes it helps me to find new paths. So yes, we are going to be frustrated, but yes, we do and we can do things in order to, calm down, see from a different perspective, and then keep going.
I love it. As a runner, that is my therapy as well. And I like to say I leave my problems behind me as I continue to go.
And it's weird, my team today, one of the things that they ask me when I get in the office is, have you swim today? And I say, yes, I did. So just ask me whatever you want.
Because they'll know, yes.
They will know, yes.
Well, let's talk. Oh, go ahead,
Just
Ingrid.
a comment, but less than perfection, I think the first step is what's going to get you close to perfection. So don't wait the right moment. So
Yes.
Nice. Okay, I want to talk about roadblocks because I know all three of you have probably had some in life. It could be family, it could be finances, it could be just what you feel like doing today isn't there for you. What sort of roadblocks have you had along your career, and how did you manage to get past it? So I'll start with you, Ingrid.
It's difficult to think one to talk about, but in a big corporation, usually you find different ways and different roadblocks depending on the stage that you are. It may be budget, it may be people, it may be different things. Thinking how we can kind of deal with in roadblocks is take a step back, look at what is your circumstance, what is your environment. Don't be afraid to ask for help every time that you need to move on. So I think one thing that's common that every time that I had like a downtime, a showstopper or a roadblock is I always sat back, started studying the situation and asked the proper help. And I would say as soon as possible, because sometimes when you're stuck on something and you don't have the help needed or you ask for the help too late, it gets much more difficult to go over that roadblock. It can get much bigger. So
That's a great answer, and sometimes asking for help is one of the hardest things you have to do. Well, I want to ask the same question of you, Fernanda. What roadblocks have you navigated?
Okay, so many. Okay, but one of them that I think it's nice to share, it was when I separated from my husband. So I have an ex-husband, and the wedding was really bad. One of the things that he told me when we had our daughter was that my salary was not compensating me to work and that I should stay at home taking care of her. And I said, okay, no, I'm not going to do that because part of who I am is my career. In the end, he's my ex-husband today. But then it was really, really hard, because actually I was not making enough money to be by myself in São Paulo. São Paulo is one of the most expensive cities in the country. I guess the most expensive city in the country. And I was all by myself because my family lives in Curitiba, which is another city in the south of the country. And I said, okay, now what should I do? Should I go back to my mom's house and get help with them? And I said, no, I'm going to stay in São Paulo. It was really, really hard. And one of the things that helped me a lot was to have friends that I could rely on. So a lot of other women that were also passing through situations pretty similar, and they helped me a lot. So today I'm very thankful for them because after I separated, my career went up in a way that I could not even imagine.
Oh,
so
that's fantastic.
Friends are...
Yeah, that's... And just looking around this room here, this is that community that we have to support you. Okay, I have one question, and I want all three of you to answer that, and then we'll wrap it up today. But I would like you to share advice. Maybe 3 things that you've learned throughout your journey, so some wisdom to impart to our audience here. What would you like to share, pass along to them that has gotten you to where you are? So who would like to start?
Well, I guess I can start. So the first thing I would say is be yourself and embrace who you are. The second thing that I would say is do not give up. And the third thing I would say for career development today is learn English.
Amazing. So I agree with you, and I would add that as women, we should hear our intuition. We should hear what our heart says to us. And sometimes we have hard decisions. And I try to think, okay, I have the no, so I'll try it because I would like to try it and don't be afraid. So sometimes we have, oh my God, it's a huge step for me. I'm not sure if I can go for it. Go for it. If someone thinks that you are capable, you have the potential, believe on it. Go for it. Go for it. Don't be afraid. So Fernanda gave a great example. If you love your work, do your best. Of course, we have to balance. So don't be afraid and go forward your dreams.
They stole all my lines. But the thing is, be curious. Don't stop learning, ladies. I think that's one of the key. We, in technology, everything keeps changing. We have AI and everything else coming every single day. So every day, try to learn something new. And besides everything else that they said, English is something, but keep your health up to date. So whatever you do, try to manage your health the best way, because that's going to keep. So drink water, use sunscreen, and other things like that. But I think is keep learning, embrace the challenges. Don't be afraid of yourself.
Oh, I love all of that. And, you know, I would add a +1 to authenticity. Be who you are. If you're loud, be loud. If you dress wild, dress wild. People will start to notice you, but use your voice unapologetically. Don't be sorry for who you are. So. Well, I actually had one more question that I want you to answer. I want to know, this is my question to you, what are you proud of?
That's easy. I'm proud of Alice. My daughter, I think that she's amazing, and
that's easy.
I
think
learned
all of us
so
would say the
much.
same
I think that even part of the professional that I am today is because of her.
Oh my God, it's different. It's hard to have a different answer because, you know, after the motherhood, I think that we are better professionals because we grow as family in the motherhood. So kids challenge us so much, and we grow a lot with that because we have to teach them great values so they can be great humans, great adults. So that's so important for us, not in the personal life, but in our professional life. And as Ingrid mentioned, there are no boundaries. Everything is mixed. So I'm really proud of my family. I'm really proud of my journey. It's not in the beginning, the first question, it's not a perfect story, but it's a real story. So we should be proud of our story.
Ingrid, what are you proud of?
I would say my kids, yeah. Watching them grow every single day and being able to resource and provide to them the way we are. And when you see your daughter trying to get into your shoes, that's when you see you're doing the right thing. So,
I have a teenager, so I'm not sure I would say the same answer today. Do we have any other parents in the audience here? Okay, how many parents of teenagers? Okay, it's a tough time for sure, but definitely proud. Okay, we have reached the end.
Your ladies still have time, so don't rush.
There we go. Well, we've reached the end of our time together. I want to really just extend my appreciation to all of you. Thank you for sharing your story with us today and embracing it. So, before we leave, we're going to do a photograph. And then we're going to turn around and we're going to do a photograph with everybody else. So selfies are my thing. Does everyone know what jazz hands, does that translate? Everybody understand jazz hands? We're going to do one of those too. So let's give our panelists a round of applause. All right. We're going to do a professional one first with him. So where is our photographer? Oop. Well, we're going to do it my way then. All right. Oh, he's coming. Ladies, that was so good. All right, one more round of applause for them. All right, we're going to turn this way. We're going to get the audience. All right. And now I want some jazz hands. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Oh, was that not a fantastic way to start day 2? Oh, I love this. One more, yes. One more quick thank you to PetroPlus, all of our We Local partners, and everyone here for your support. So this morning, I hope you really enjoyed these remarkable leaders sharing about their careers and their story. While every career journey you know is different, many successful professionals have a lot of the same things in common. That's commitment to learning, meaningful connections, and giving back to others. Again, these are the same opportunities you have for you today in SWE. So, that being said, I just want everybody to have a wonderful day and enjoy We Local Day 2 here in Campinas. Thank you. All right, we'll see you all back here at 4 o'clock for our closing keynote. You all have an incredible day.